it's Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Sunday, October 15th. So today we do have the moon in Libra, of course, going void, of course, at 3:02 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are going to be moving into Scorpio energy, locking in at 7:05 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, of course, we're still very much in the new moon energy. The eclipse window is going to be wide open until we have a little bit of closure at the end of the month with that full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus energy. We are in the post-lunar hangover window. There's definitely some settling that this energy needs to kind of do in our physical body. We are not going to see the peak of the unexpected events really manifest. We have to kind of still continue to act as the observer and see the hints and clues coming at us on where it is that we're closing doors to the old karmic chapters and where it is that we are opening new ones. Of course, we can expect the ebb and flow, the push and pull, the back and forth to still continue. We are in Libra season, so we do have to balance those scales out. But the transition into Scorpio energy, things are going to get deep. They're going to get intense. We have to do a deep dive into our inner realm. We have to unearth some particular blockages. This is the time when there is a lot of insight, a lot of downloads starting to click, starting to pop off, starting to make sense. We are more focused on the mysteries of life, more focused on the subtle energies of life in the Scorpio energy. It is a time when things are going to feel heavy. They're going to feel weighted. We have a major change, a major shift, a major transformation taking place in our energetic field. This is happening individually speaking. It's happening collectively speaking. I am going to encourage you to listen to the ascension forecast for this week on a little bit more depth on what it is that we're going through here this week. But overall, just understand that we are about to make some profound aha moments, some profound insights, some profound puzzle pieces connecting the dots as we move through this particular eclipse window. But again, exploring the depths of our soul, of our spirit, on what it is that we're kind of unifying in, where this new version of self is going through this transformational process with the Scorpio energy. So there are 6 different aspects here today, a relatively quiet day in the cosmos. Lord knows we absolutely need a break in order to settle in some of these energies. 5 of them going to involve the moon. While the moon is still in Libra energy, the last aspect that the moon in Libra is going to make is a square. So we're getting into the boxing ring. We're fighting it out with Pluto, the great transformer himself, who is freshly direct in this Capricorn energy. Now, a square never feels good. It's not supposed to. It's supposed to highlight the tension, the conflict within us, between our heart and our head, between our ego self and our higher self, between our inner realm and our outer realm, and of course, us and other people. We have to sit in the funk in order to realize where the anger, the frustration, the tension, the conflict is asking for a release. The way that we release it is by changing it, transforming it, and that's what Pluto is here to do. So there is an intensity that comes over us when we have an interaction with Pluto because we're doing a deep dive in the psyche, where the programming, where the conditioning needs to be rewritten, if you will, in order for us to move away from the old and again, prepare to jump into new. So again, 3:02 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the moon is going to go void, of course. Things get shaky, things get uncertain. We're definitely noticing where the scales are unbalanced at this particular point. We lock in that Scorpio energy, 7:05 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. About an hour later, we have the moon in Scorpio, trining, beautiful energy, beautiful aspect, with Saturn, the Lord of Karma, who is retrograde in Pisces energy. Saturn's point that he's trying to make, what he's trying to help us do in this Pisces energy, is to deconstruct the old structures, the foundations, the routines, the essential framework of who it is that we had to be in the past, the belief system that we were operating under as that version of self, and the realm and reality in which we created out of that version of self, the energy, the attention of that belief system. We're looking to bring an ending and a closure to that so that we can build ourselves up in a much stronger way. Seeing where there is a new foundation of belief now entering in, a new foundation of structure of who it is that we now are, who it is that we're trying to become, It is a major overhaul. It is karmically, divinely scripted. It is a very low and slow process. It's highly emotional because endings, closures, deaths are needed in order for there to be a clean slate to actually start building something more in alignment with our higher selves. So we have water on water action here. And what we know about water is that A, it's highly cleansing in our spiritual realm, in our emotional realm. B, it is highly transformative. Water is the only element that can take on all three forms: gas, solid, liquid. And that's very much the different forms that we go through in the process of alchemy. Again, taking something, changing it into a different form, something lighter, something more, I'm going to say, in alignment with what it is that we're trying to kind of build ourselves into. So emotionally speaking, there is a little bit of a seriousness, a somberness that comes with Saturn. He does kind of give us a reality check and test us in ways to make sure that we learn the lessons that we had to learn in order to implement them in our everyday practice as we're building towards true enlightenment, true awareness of self. So there is an intensity here, but this is a trine. This is a beautiful energy, a beautiful interaction. And what this is doing is really helping us to do the deep dive on what it is that we have to collapse, what it is that we are now trying to build towards. There's new passions, there's new desires, there's new ideas downloaded in our highest realm for us to now pursue. But it is going to require us to kind of clean out the closet, if you will, clean up the debris of the past before we can start actively taking action on building towards these futuristic visions. The moon is then going to make a positive interaction with Neptune. Neptune, of course, retrograde in his place of power in this Pisces energy. Again, water on water action. This is coming in the form of true connection with our higher selves. We're being downloaded with new insights, new aha moments, new visions, new dreams. We're piecing things together here. This is acting as a great reminder on where it is that our soul, our spirit needs to be fed, needs to be stimulated, needs to really be refreshed in a lot of ways in order for us to elevate to our highest self, to see the options, the possibilities, the opportunities that now await us as we're kind of processing the old and slowly but surely cutting the cord and letting things go and really understanding where there is a true change, a true transformation taking place within us and what it is that we're now being guided to pursue. The moon in Scorpio then going to come up, bump into, sit next to, team up with Mars. Mars is the god of war. He rules over our physical energy, our drive, our passion, our desires, even our anger. He is in his place of power in the Scorpio energy as he co-rules with Pluto over Scorpio energy. And so again, this is something that can kind of manifest in two different ways. We talked about this in the ascension forecast for this week. It can either manifest as true inspiration, motivation, passion, desire, or we could kind of dip into the anger, the frustration, even the rage. Now, both are very powerful fuels in order for change and transformation to take place, but we have to use this energy very, very carefully, especially if we are using those dark force energy and emotions in order to create the change and transformation that, emotionally speaking, we are now being kind of boosted in our confidence in order to pursue. So here's where things get a little bit interesting. We have the sun in Libra energy making an interaction with Uranus, the great awakener, who is retrograde in Taurus energy. This is not the most favorable aspect. This is going to be a jolt to the central nervous system. This is going to be a true case of expecting the unexpected. This is where the boat gets rocked. This is where there's disruption to our plans. This is where we don't feel in control. This is where we're really, really sitting in a huge amount of confusion. But again, confusion is necessary in order to gain clarity. A shake-up, if you will, a disruption, is sometimes the only way that we deviate from the egoic plans in which we had in order to see a different alternative and possibility that we would never kind of stumble across if we didn't have the universe throw us little lightning bolts to create a detour in our path and our plans. Now, granted, not the best energy, likely going to trigger a lot of restlessness, a lot of anxiety. Again, we really do have to work very hard to change the label on the energy and emotions in which we're experiencing. But nonetheless, we're having a little bit of a shakeup, a little bit of a jolt to our system, a little bit of a disruption to our overall physical realm. The last aspect that we have here today is the moon in Scorpio energy, sextiling, which is a beautiful interaction with Venus, the goddess of love, beauty, worth, pleasure, money, who is in Virgo energy, looking to help, looking to heal, looking to fix and repair particular aspects in our physical realms that need to be rearranged and restructured in order for us to feel safe and secure, to create more happiness, more joy, and really kind of understand where it is that we have to boss up, take better care of ourselves. We essentially are flipping the script on what makes us happy, what our priorities, our values are. And what I love about Scorpio and Virgo energy when they interact is that we're able to deep dive and really examine the problems. We're able to illuminate, if you will, where the blockages are. Again, doing the shadow work that Scorpio requires us to do, and a deep dive in our mental plane where the Virgo energy rules. So emotionally speaking, we are coming to some aha moments with what it is that we know for sure. Again, Scorpio energy, there's just this instinct knowing, this intuitive knowing. We know for sure that we have to do, whether this means cutting things and people out in order to create a space for us to build into new elements, what it is that our heart is asking us to pursue, or where it is that we have to really put our time, energy, and attention into rearranging our physical realm to support more of the things we've already identified, bring us a sense of safety, security, happiness, and joy. So there's some sort of change, some sort of transformation, some sort of revelation going on in our heart space.